good women are dead. Evil bitches, rise up!
Make it stop. Make the hurt stop, please. Like,
So be it.
Welcome again to Voice of the Patriarchy. My name is Peter the Patriarch, and I am pleased to bring you tonight's story. We have good news that the patriarchy scrolls have been found in the corner of a patriarchy temple during renovations. I will read the first one to you now. The Patriarchy Scrolls, Patriarchy Scroll 1. The patriarchy has its origins long ago, shrouded in the mists of time. The sages passed its wisdom down through the ages, an oral history of the great and enduring patriarchy. At the end of the last ice age, when the men of the world hunted mammoth, and wild women ran amok upon the earth, the first patriarch looked upon this and said, "It is not good when wild women rule and create chaos, and the people languish." Thus spake the first patriarch. Revered is he among men. So the first patriarch decided to gather the leaders of men in one place. He wore a robe and fez of animal skin. By the light of the campfire, they pondered the state of the world run by women, and decided that it would be better if men should rule. And they decided to call themselves the patriarchy. And this was the first patriarchy meeting. By firelight and in caves they kept meeting, plotting the spread of patriarchy throughout the earth. And where patriarchy spread and men ruled, the people prospered. In gratitude they said, "Hail to the patriarchy." Now the feminists looked upon the spread of patriarchy, and were not pleased that women should be ruled over by men. And they vowed to smash the patriarchy. Thus enmity was declared between feminists and the patriarchy. This is the end of the first patriarchy scroll. I hope you have enjoyed tonight's story. Thank you and good night from the patriarchy.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Please do hit that like button as you make your way into the room. I hope you enjoyed that brief reading from the Patriarchy Scrolls. Every now and then when I manage to, I will share some of the patriarchal wisdom with you all, as it is my quest in life. But we're going to talk about some things today. We're going to talk about some counterintuitive ideas today, some uncomfortable realities, some dark truths. You know, I think I kind of broached this subject recently before, talking about how Republicans, how conservatives in general are just inherently uncomfortable with the raw reality of female sexuality. And so we're going to get into that. We're going to get into these ideas. And also, if you happen to be tuning into the Hood Conservative channel, you might notice that the comments are turned off for the most part, and I keep spamming a particular link over there. If you hit that link, it'll take you to a magical land where all the other people are chatting and the comments will go live and you can participate and make new friends. You'll like it over there. So if you hit that link, you'll be taken to the Hood Conservative Live channel. And one of the reasons why you should hit that link is because just before we get to the main part of the show, I'm going to shut down the first channel and we're going to just remain live on the Hood Conservative Live channel because that's what it's for. So that being said, though, I want to talk about a couple of things before we get into it. I don't know if you guys saw this particular clip going viral recently, but I think it's interesting. A woman held a baby, I guess for the first time ever. She probably the first time she's even touched the baby since she was a baby. And look what it did to her.
I can't even wipe my eyes. I'm gonna get my tears on the baby. Right. Oh, you look beautiful. I can't look down. So look at her. What's her neck? She's so cute. Why is so open? Oh my god, I need to have a kid. I need to have a. Oh my god. Oh, she's smiling.
Babies are kind of contagious, actually. It's true. It's true. Just the fact that she was touching a baby, it did something to her ovaries, and then her ovaries did something to her brain, and boom, she wants to have a baby now. The babies are they are kind of infectious, you know. That's why they have that term. You ever heard of the term baby rabies? It is an affliction basically unique to women. Only women get baby rabies. Men just hear after the fact, oh, you're pregnant? Cool.
Look at her. What's her name? She's so cute. Why is it open? Oh my god, I need to have a kid. I need to have a. Oh my god. Oh, she's smiling. I want to take my top off and have skin to skin contact.
She wanted skin to skin contact. She doesn't even have the words for this right there, right now, but her body itself wants to breastfeed. All right. There are things that her body wants to do that she doesn't even have the words for yet. It's just the way they work. Now, don't get me wrong. There are also uncomfortable downsides to the female nature, as it were. You know, you all are beautiful and everything, but this is why we don't like you running things.
There was a study done where men and women were hooked up to brain scanners as they watched people play a game. They got to see whether the people playing the game were playing fairly or whether they were cheating at the game. And the people playing were connected to electric shock machines. So electric shocks would go into these people as they were playing, and they would measure the brains of the men and women watching. So every time a player that was playing fairly got an electric shock, both men and women's empathy centers lit up. Whenever an electric shock would go into a person that was cheating, women's empathy centers lit up just the same as with the fair playing person, but men's empathy centers did not light up at all. Actually, their pleasure center lit up. Super key psychological distinction between men and women.
Now, just to break that down really quickly, as a general rule, women feel sympathy or even empathy toward people who have cheated or done wrong and then gotten punishment, while men feel satisfaction watching people get their just punishment. Yes, men are biologically righteous. And I wonder where that evolutionary development comes from. Our biological lean towards more righteousness. And I don't even know if it's righteousness in and of itself. I just think men, it kind of goes back to the hunting thing. It's a pattern recognition thing. You know, it's a logic chain. If this, then that, right? If A, then B. If bad, then kill. And that's kind of like it kind of goes down to our basic urge, you know. It might even, I mean, maybe you know, righteousness does kind of tie into biology in some fashion, but I wonder just, you know, how the contours of that really do look. But I think about it in that terms of just the basic raw primal survival sense, you know. If a thing wants to kill you, therefore it's bad, right? If friend, no harm. If harm, no friend. If no friend, me kill. You know, can it be that it was all so simple then? And there's something else. I think I was talking about this idea briefly. You know, let's get into the Madonna whore conversation. Once more into the breach, y'all. We're gonna get into the Madonna whore thing a little bit more here because there is a duality to us as men. You know, we can't quite rationalize our female counterpart the way we rationalize just raw danger out in nature or whatever. So there's an odd duality that happens in the minds of men, but there's purpose to it. There's a structure under that chaos, you know.
There is no reason for a man to behave like a gentleman with a prostitute. That's kind of the whole selling point. That would be ridiculous.
All right, the background music on this video is unbelievable, but we have to roll with it.
Ridiculous at best and wasteful and dangerous at worst. So that's the answer to the question that began this series. Where are all the gentlemen? They disappeared when the lady went extinct. And it wasn't men who killed her. Women have proudly fought tooth and nail to escape the social restrictions.
And you know, now that I listen to him explain things, and the juxtaposition is wild, because if you think about it, he actually makes the perfect physical representation of the dichotomy we're talking about here, where like you have this gangster thug killer music in the background, and then you have this clean-cut white bread image in the foreground. One of these guys get bitches. I promise you, one of these guys get bitches, and it's not the white bread.
That defined that identity over the past 60 years. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is that modern women want the best of both worlds. They want the social freedom of the prostitute and the respectability of the lady. And that just doesn't make sense. Like, one person can't be both a lady and a prostitute at the same time. If these designations are to have any meaning whatsoever, they need to be grounded in objective phenomena. And while it's always kind of easy for a lady to become a prostitute, it's very, very difficult for a prostitute to become a lady. It is possible, like the Empress Wu, who started out as a concubine in Chinese history, but it is much more difficult than the opposite. So let's be real. The standard template for a woman's behavior in the sexual marketplace today is to engage in casual sex without commitment through their 20s and then settle down into marriage around 30. That is, they want to enjoy the social freedom of a prostitute for 10 to 15 years, and then they want the respectability of a lady for the rest of their lives. And unfortunately, that doesn't make sense to men. In fact, this is exacerbated even further by recent dating trends. The rise of soft life girls and women who say reject coffee dates and expect greater effort from men drive this point home. These women do not complain that men are expecting sex without marriage. They complain that men are being stingy with their resources. Does this sound like a lady who is upset she is being treated like a prostitute? Or like a prostitute who is clamoring for a raise?
Yo, this is the Pimps and Simps Show, where we peel back the IG filters, dodge the thirst traps, and tell it like it really is.
Speaking of telling it like it really is, I don't know if you guys are ready for this next clip. Some of you probably seen this before. It's not exactly new, but we got to go there. We got to go there. Since Chicago just entered the building.
You grew up thinking you supposed to beat your bitches. That's how they love you more.
Since Chicago just entered the building, we got to go there, y'all.
You grew up thinking you supposed to beat your bitches. That's how they love you more. It hit different. Let's start the. If you don't beat a Chicago bitch, she gonna go fuck another nigga. It hit different. Like, you gotta show her that you really love her. Bitch, I'll kill you. If you don't show a bitch that, it hit different. She gonna go to the next whoop and you can like, damn, what I'm doing wrong? You ain't standing on the business. It hit different. Let's start there. On how Chicago bitches think.
So tough love. Like tough love.
Real tough love, bro. Let's start there. It hit different. These is Chiracians. Do your homework on the Chiracians and the way we think. Let's start there.
So basically,
have you done your homework on the Chiracians? I didn't even know it was like that. My man doing the interview with his vest on because he's still in Black Love right now. Talking about Chicago Black Love. You got to be ready for anything, apparently.
Basically, you got to beat a bitch. So basically,
beat her doonies down. Do your homework on beating the bitch doonies down. You got to beat her doonies down.
You say you got to do your homework on beating the doonies down. The Doonies have to be beaten down. Okay, that's the step one. Beat the Doonies down. Got to study on that. Got to go to homework on that. You know what I mean? Got to get into the back of the book on that one.
Now, do your homework on beating the bitch Doonies down. You got to beat her Doonies down. Then, if she get out of line, you got to beat her down. For real. You got to beat the bitch down and beat the Doonies down too. Because if you ain't beating the Doonies right, if you're not beating the Doonies down right, bro, she not even going to let you beat her. So you have to beat the Doonies down right before you start putting your hands on a motherfucker. Let's start there.
Once you beat the Doonies, you can beat it up. All right? Chi-Town rules. I don't make the rules, all right? I don't make the rules. Chi-Town rules. I'm just saying, that's how I go. That's how I go. But that being said, I want to jump to the title video for the day, talking about feminists and misogynists and who gets what, who loves who more. And like I said, if you're listening over on the Manhood Conservative channel, now is about the time, your final chance to click that link. We're going to move all this over to the regular, to the Hood Conservative live channel. So I'll keep posting that link in the chat. Please click that link in the chat. The show on that channel is going to end over there. And we're going to move over to the live channel over here. So you got about 5, 4, 3.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.